That is what you need to understand. Now, what is language? Language is a set that is composed from the string over the alphabet, and the alphabet is collection of unique symbols from which we generate the strings which we sample to generate a language. What is language representing? So in general, these languages are referred to as formal languages. This language abstraction that we are creating, the set that we are representing, they are representing general formal languages. That is generally referred to as formal languages. Now, this particular set, 7, 14, 21, is set of all valid decimal numbers which are divisible by 10. So, it is representing in a way all the valid inputs. When I'm asking a question whether the given input is decimal and divisible by 7 or not. Okay, so all the inputs from this set or all the elements in this set 7, 14, 21, dot, dot, dot. If I give input to certain black box device, it is going to return me yes because these all are powers of 7. Okay. So are you understanding where we will be using these particular sets called as language? We will be using these sets called as language to represent what are the valid inputs for certain device, and then these we will refer to as the language of that particular device. Okay, थोड़ा सा आगे जा रहा हूँ मैं, but you will understand this concept. Now we'll look at introduction to our first device, which is called as finite automata. I know there is something called as grammar topic, then there is something called as right linear and left linear grammar and regular grammar. But before jumping on to that and continuing the discussion of our set theory, we will go back and understand in chapter number 2. Okay, I'm jumping between chapter 1 and chapter 2. You will understand why I'm doing so in a while. So have some faith on me. You will definitely understand what is going around within the next 15 minutes. Okay, so now we are now talking about a device called as finite automata. Now the word finite clicks you something. So we were talking about set. I told you that this entire subject is based on set theory as the basis of representation of these computational models. Finite automata is one of the computational models that we will be learning first. Okay, so this word is again related to some finiteness or something that restricts the amount or count of elements in a set. Okay, so finite automata can be represented as a set only. Now, before we learn what this particular thing is, we already have seen this particular diagram in previous lecture. This is the transition diagram. I told you what this means earlier as well. Let me take this away. This color is not good, not viewable on background. Okay, it's not changing the color. Why? Okay, I have to use this color chooser. Very bad. Okay, fine. So this particular thing that you see on the board, this particular thing is referred to as a transition diagram. Transition diagram, or there is another word to it. There is another word attached to it when it is defined, that is referred to as state transition diagram, because we are changing the state. State of what? State of computation. जो मैं compute कर रहा हूँ उसका state मैं change कर रहा हूँ. So this is example of that particular circuit. If those who were not present last lecture, this is the example of that circuit which had a battery, which had a bulb. Okay, and we wanted to actually glow that bulb. So I told you my drawing skills are really off. So don't worry about it. You'll at least understand that it is circuit. So this is the switch. So I have two operations, flip, flip. Rather one operation called as flip. Initially it is in open state, so the bulb is off. This bulb is off. So we are watching the state of bulb. So my state of system is state of bulb. The operations that I can do is flipping of switch. So when the switch is off, I will be in on state. When the switch is open, I will be in off state. This we have already seen. Now this diagram, if you closely look, what characteristic you see? First is it's a graph. There are nodes. The circles represent node. The edges represent, or the arrows represent the edges. So it's a graph data structure. That's the one thing. Second thing is it's a labeled graph. So every edge is, there are two edges and both the edges are labeled. Okay. Third intuition or third observation that you can do about this particular state transition diagram is it's a directed graph because these arrows are having arrowheads. It's a directed graph. You might have learned two kinds of graphs in data structures and algorithms. One is directed graph and the other one is undirected graph. So undirected graph is where you have edges, but you don't have the directions marked on the arrowheads of the edge, or edges does not have arrowhead. Okay, so there is no flow shown. Here we are showing the flow. What does this flow indicate? This flow indicates that if you are in off state and if you do the operation mentioned on the edge, then you go to okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay. Now, if we are in off state and there is a action, that means flip action done, then I might be closing the switch. As I'm closing the switch, the bulb will start glowing. So the state of bulb would change. This is what this particular arrowhead is indicating. So I'm moving from state off to on the action F. So what F is indicating? F is indicating an action. Okay, or an input, I should say. So I'm providing input to this particular system. So if I consider this as a system, then my pressure on this knob or pressure on this switch is what? It is an input given to the system. So F is indicated as an input in the state of. So this F is the input given when my device or my system is in off state. And this F, the F on the bottom arrow, label F on the bottom arrow, indicates the input that the system receives when the system is in on state. Okay, so have you understood what is going around here? We are trying to capture in an abstract representation called as state transition diagram, which is a graph. We are trying to capture the operations of this particular system. We already had some notion of what we are counting here. We are counting how many times this flip action is taking place. Okay, and only those counts which are odd, you will have the system glow the bulb. देखोगे क्योंकि इनिशियली आप ऑफ में हो, एक बार आप फ्लिप किया तो यहाँ आ रहे हो, दूसरी बार फ्लिप किया पीछे जाओगे, तीसरी बार क्या यहाँ आओगे, चौथी बार, पांचवी बार. So whenever you are having odd number of flips done, you will be actually in this state. So you are counting what? You are counting a set of F's. Okay, set of concatenation of F with itself, which are odd in numbers. Which are odd in number. This is exactly what is there, and why we call this as a computation, because this is because we can actually solve this as a computation problem. Now this answer F triple F 5F dot dot dot, this is basically referred to as the language of this particular computation, because it's a set of all valid string. और मुझे वैलिड स्ट्रिंग इनवैलिड से कैसे अलग मिलेगा? अगर आप क्लोजली देखोगे ये नोड्स, तो दोनों नोड्स जो है वो एक्सीडेंटली गलती से ड्रॉ नहीं किए हुए. एक नोड सिंगल सर्कल है और दूसरा नोड डबल सर्कल है. द स्टेट विच इज डिजायरेबल इज एक्चुअली शोन इन अ डबल सर्कल. तो जब भी मैं ऑड नंबर ऑफ एफ यूज करके, यानी इनिशियल स्टेट से, दिस एरो इंडिकेट्स दैट ऑफ इज द इनिशियल स्टेट. इनिशियली माय circuit is open or my switch is open, I should say, right? So from off state I can go to on state when the input F is given once or thrice or 5 times, and that's why I have encircled it doubly. If my concentration is on, or if my computation is on when the system is off, if the question is that I'm looking for to understand when the system is off, I'm a pessimistic person, I want that bulb to be off. or I want to know when the bulb is off, rather I should construct it like that. Then I will encircle off state and I will have this as a single circle. Then initially itself will be here. So we will add in my that kind of set epsilon. Okay, no f's. Nothing is done or no operation is done will be indicated with epsilon. Then I will have two f's. Then I will have a string with four f's. Okay, the four f's can be represented like this directly. So rather than writing f four times, I'm writing f raised to 4. This is what this notation is. F raised to n. F raised to n means f concatenated 4 times. F dot f dot f dot f. Okay, and this can be done many a times, and always you will find out that we are in a state where the bulb is off. The bulb is off. Okay, so this second set that we are looking at, थोड़ा सा closely देखोगे तो यहाँ पे length of the string is 0, length of the string is 2, length of the string is 4, length of the string is 6. So all the even length strings we are actually incorporating in this set. If my problem is to find out count of flips on which the circuit is closed and or the circuit is rather open and bulb is off, right? So are you understanding what we are in turn doing is जो मेरा इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉब्लम था उसको मैंने कंप्यूटेशनल प्रॉब्लम में कन्वर्ट किया और वो कंप्यूटेशनल प्रॉब्लम जो है वो क्या करेगा वो जस्ट काउंट करेगा इट्स अ काउंटिंग प्रॉब्लम नाउ and what it is counting, it is counting number of operations done and it is trying to divide that number of those number of operations into two sets. One set is set which is counting all even number of operations and the other set is counting all odd number of operations. Okay, so one set is representing one state of the system, other set is representing other state of system. Both these sets here are infinite sets and both are representing two complementary languages because there is no single string which is common in both the sets. ये सेट में कोई भी ऐसा स्ट्रिंग नहीं है जो ये सेट में है और ये सेट में कोई ऐसा स्ट्रिंग नहीं है वो दूसरे सेट में है. Okay, somebody wants to say something. I guess somebody has kept his audio open. गलती से है या किसी को शायद कुछ बोलना है. ओके, कैन यू म्यूट योरसेल्फ? ओके, अननेसेसरी वो रिकॉर्डिंग में आ जाता है, बाकी कुछ नहीं है. अलबत्त मुझे कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपको अगर कुछ डाउट है तो जरूर पूछो, नो इश्यूज. नाउ प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्ट दैट जब मैं ऑफ स्टेप में हूँ और मैं फ्लिप एक्शन करता हूँ तो मुझे एग्जैक्टली पता है कि मैं कहाँ जा रहा हूँ, राइट? कौन से स्टेट में मैं ट्रांजिट कर रहा हूँ. ट्रांजिशन का वर्ड आया, ट्रांजिशन जो है वो मैकेनिज्म है. ट्रांजिट कर रहा हूँ, ये मेरा नाउन हो गया. मैं ट्रांजिट कर रहा हूँ, आई एम ट्रांजिटिंग इनटू ऑन स्टेट. That I clearly know here in this diagram, and that is the reason we call this kind of automata जो ये तो finite automata है. और इसको finite क्यों बोला जाता है? क्योंकि जो states हैं, जो डिवीजन है नंबर ऑफ, तो यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? नंबर ऑफ फ्लिप्स को काउंट कर रहे हैं ना. नंबर ऑफ फ्लिप्स को का जो सेट है वो सेट क्या है? एप्सिलॉन 1f 2f 3f 4f 5f 6f अप टू इन्फिनाइट नंबर ऑफ एफ्स. एक इन्फिनाइट सेट है. इस सेट को मैं पार्टीशन कर रहा हूं. तो व्हाट इज द वर्ड पार्टीशन मींस? पार्टीशन मींस आई एम डिवाइडिंग द सेट such that I can reconstruct the original set. Now this is an important terminology which I will be using a lot in next few lectures. That is why I'm coming to an open thing which is coming from set theory. So set theory, a bit of set theory again. Okay, ये black background, white background मेरे को next time I'll choose slides which are having bright background so that I won't require to change the color of the pen. Okay, coming back to its first stating to be required to color. So what I was trying to explain again, I need to change it here. Okay, so selected it. Now what I was trying to explain, partition set. Okay, what happened? Partition of a set. So I'm giving you an example set. So now I'm going back to set theory. I'm not using those symbols like epsilon and all those. So this is a set, okay, which is a finite set of some numbers. Okay, I don't know what these numbers are or what they represent, but this is a set Q. Okay. Now I have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and Q5. Five sets which I'm representing. Now these five sets have a common property that you are going to tell me what that common property is. You will be telling me what common properties these sets have. 68 is 8. Okay. Now consider this particular example. अगर आप देखोगे क्लोजली एग्जाम्पल में तो मेरे पास क्या है, मेरे पास 5 सबसेट्स है of original set. So all these Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 are what they are subsets of Q. So I'll just indicate that. So these 5 are having a relationship called as subset. Okay, what is subset? I hope everybody knows. Okay, I'm going slower initially because you might not be remembering everything clearly. इसलिए मैं थोड़ा slow जा रहा हूँ initially. So all these 5 Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 are referred to as subset because you will find that every element in Q1 is also element in Q. Every element in Q2 is also element in Q. Every element in Q3 also element in Q. Every element in Q4 is also element in Q. That's good. Now, if I take this subset 5, 6, then this subset 8, 32, then this subset 32, 5, 2, yeah, 32 to 5. I should use a number, different number here. Understand, consider that this to be 9. Just rewrite it. Okay. I know last moment change because set है तो set में repetition नहीं होना चाहिए. मैं ही खुद definition set का use नहीं किया properly in the example. So this is 5, 6, 8, 32 to 5, 32 to 9. This is the set. Okay. Now I get 5, 6, 8, 32, 32 to 9. I take these three sets and I apply an operation called as union to them. Okay, do you know what is a union operation? It is an operation where you unite the set. That is, you join multiple sets together. I hope it is already known to you. If I apply union operation, what I will get is I will get a set 5, 6, 8, 32, and then 2, 9. Right? This is the set that I get. I get back the original set. Should I say that? Yes, I have got back the Q. Right? So that's a way to get back Q. There's another way to get back Q. And that way I'll indicate with some other color. This is the 5, 6. This is 8, 32. And then I choose this particular thing. Okay? And I again operate a union operation on it. Yes, is my voice breaking?
Nice, sir. The 29 9 का
हाँ
साथ
सर 29
29 चुकून 2,9 लिहायचं ते. Sorry. Sorry. एक कॉमा लिहायचा होता ना, ते मी 9 टाइप केलं. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Corrections. So now when I actually do this operation, I will again get this set, right? This is 2, 9. This is 8, 32. This is 5, 6. So 5, 6, 8, 32, 2, 9, right? Both he line extra आहे. चुकून आता तुम्ही notation मध्ये ती line आहे असं समजून घ्याल. Should rub this line. So this is union operation. This is also union operation. Union of three sets Q1, Q2, Q3 is this one, and Q1, Q2, Q4 is this one. Both times I'm getting the original set back. Now the question is, which of these is, which of the subsets in combination are referred to as partition of Q. Okay, they all are subsets. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. They all are subsets of original sets. Now Q1, Q2, Q4. If I join them together, they are forming the original set. Q1, Q2, Q3. If I join them together, they are also forming the original set. There is a slight difference though. If I see Q2 and Q3 sets, they have an overlapping element 32, whereas there is no overlap between Q1, Q2 and Q4. So if I say that Q1 Q1 union better I type. So I have Q1 union Q2 union Q3. Okay, that is what we are trying to represent here. Okay, and the second time what I'm trying to represent is I'm representing Q1 union Q2 union Q4. The uniqueness for this is here in this particular union. Okay, Q1 and Q2 and Q4, Q2 and Q4, they are overlapping. Okay, overlapping means they are actually having one common element, 32, right? Whereas here, all three sets, which are subset of original set, Q1, Q2, and Q4, these all three sets are non-overlapping. Okay. So another definition of partition set I'm going to tell you, or what do you mean by partition set? So partition set is a set of subsets of original set. Okay, it is a set of, should use text only. It is a set of subsets of original sets. Q1, Q2, Q4. The subset is such that these subsets which compose the original set, okay, they are non-overlapping. So Q1, Q2, Q4 is a partition set. Why it is a partition set? Because if I unite Q1, Q2, Q4, I will get the original set. If I intersect Q1 with Q2, Q1 with Q4, or Q2 with Q4, these intersections will yield me phi. That is, there is no element which is present in one or more element present in any two of these subsets. Q1, Q2, Q4 should be subset of original sets and they should be non-overlapping. These are the two conditions which make us define the partition. The third condition is that Q1, Q2, Q4 जब मैं combine करूँ तो मुझे original set मिलना चाहिए. For instance, 832 and 568, Q2, Q5. Okay, Q2, Q5. अगर ये मैंने consider किया set, sorry, Q2 and it should be Q5. अगर ये मैंने set consider किया तो ये set में दो properties cover हो जाते हैं. Q2 and Q5 are non-overlapping. Q2 में 832 है, इसमें 568 है. अरे 8 है ही क्या इसमें? कंसिडर करो इसमें 8 नहीं है सर. एक ऐसा एग्जांपल लेना चाहिए था जिसमें ओवरलैप नहीं है. सो 832, 56 they are non-overlapping. Good. Q2 and Q5 both are subsets. So two conditions are met. But इनका union में करूँगा मुझे original set नहीं मिलेगा. I will not get all the elements in the original set. So this is not a partition. Okay. So to have a partition, even this is not a partition. Q1, Q2, Q3 is not a partition. Why Q1, Q2, Q3 is not a partition? Because Q2 and Q3 are overlapping. Q2 and Q3 are overlapping. At least one element in them is common. So what is a partition set? Partition set is a set of subsets of another set. Okay, that another set can be obtained by joining the subsets and the subsets are non-overlapping. Okay, so that is what is a partition set. Now going back to